Foot to the footy, ball going forward for Corio immediately at centre half back, picked up there by Simmons. Ball hooked back towards the middle of the ground. Player in Anders, at least that was Rickett, went without it. It does kick the ball on the ground, picked up Ricky O'Toole. I tell you what, he's handling the ball very surely back there. He gets the ball to full forward, picked up by Cornish for Werribee. There's a bit of a dust-up off the football with Jason Pastuka acting as a referee. That's interesting. But the ball kicked again towards the centre of the ground. Ricky O'Toole, all the time in the world. Handball back, and lovely short chip kick there has come to Andrew Williams. Still in the middle of the ground, the ball. But Williams for Corio. Kicks it short. There's Rick Lazarick. He gets low to the ground and takes the mark. There's another lead out wider. It's Troy Gundry on hands and knees taking the mark. So Corio just their typical Corio game, Loz. They're just chip.
There they go again.
There's another one, and this time to Robbie Walton. It's in the corridor. Oh, does well. Decides to run on. Unfortunately, the kick doesn't do justice to the play because he's missed to the right-hand side. Is second behind for the day, but it is the first score for the third quarter. 6 goals, 11-47 Corio, 2-6-18 Werribee Central's Raiders bingo. Third quarter scoreboard, 1.5 minutes gone. As we've got a blood rule, I think the umpires put the whistle on play. Somebody from Werribee Central's heading our way toward the interchange position.
Might be Chris Kelly, I think.
He's certainly copped a fairly, no, it's Christian O'Malley, one over the eye by the look of it. He's quite okay. So his replacement is Brad Ward, as Dave Kennedy waiting for the ball to be brought. So now the ball's kicked in by Dave Kennedy, outside 50, nice looking kick. As again Corio at the drop of the footy, Ashley McNamara, well the umpire got it in the heel there.
Coming hard then.
Well the ball's just between the 50 metre arc and the centre square. Half forward flank for Corio, kicking to the city end in this third quarter. 2.5 minutes gone, 1 point the added to Corio's score. Nothing for Werribee yet. In the ruck there, Robbie Walton. Only as far there as Sean Simmons, kicks the ball out wide. Simon Calvert overruns the footy, picked up by Gary Rickett, back into the middle of the ground. It's to advantage for Werribee. As terrific little chip out there from Joseph Astuka, picked up at centre half forward. Warren Foley really doesn't get any purchase on the footy, and Stephen Rickett out wide towards the half-back flank. Calvert almost a good mark, mossed it, put some pressure on, caused the ball to spill toward the boundary. Picked up by Foley for Werribee Centrals. Chug leads in the race for the footy. Unfortunately for Werribee, the ball beats him over the boundary line and out 35 metres from the behind post in the attacking area for the... there's some scores coming through which we will endeavour to get you as the quarter unfolds. So the ball out of bounds, half forward flank for Werribee, tapped forward by both ruckmen. Players unable to handle the football as it heads toward the boundary once again. Boundary umpire watching closely, very, very close to the boundary. Now it's drifted over.
Yeah, Eric, that seems to be the problem there. I don't know whether it's Corio's good play or Werribee's bad play. They seem to be going too far in those pockets and not creating enough opportunities for their players to be able to run onto the footy. They've got to straighten up a little bit more, so they've got some more chances to goal.
So the ball now kicked into the full forward position for Werribee, and Simon Calvert got foot to the footy, and Mark Bernardo in front.
Yeah, take your time, Mark.
That's where you've got to be. He's taken the mark 15 metres out, directly in front. Opportunity to reduce the Corio lead.
He's rushed a couple of his kicks on goal today.
He has. Mark Bernardo one behind only to his name so far, but at the 4.5 minute mark of the third quarter, getting plenty of assistance from the Corio players, and
that one, they're happy.
There's about 10 Werribee players have all run there to Mark Bernardo, so there's a bit of feeling there amongst their ranks. They're trying to come back. It is their third goal. 3 goals, 6-24. They trail Corio 6-11-47 Raiders bingo. Third quarter scoreboard, 5 minutes gone. And that half time, Laurie, some of the other games, terrific game down at Winchelsea. The home side 6-7. Trail Thompson 8-8. Inverleigh 9-9 lead Belmont Lions 8-7.
That's a good game too.
Geelong West haven't scored in the second quarter, 2-2. North haven't scored much better, 3-8. East Geelong 4-5, Belpost Hill 1-7, and Anarchy 2-7, Trail Bannockburn 6-4. So some very interesting scores coming through for half-time, and obviously weather having a fair bit to do with,
no doubt about that.
With some of those.
That was a handy goal though, to Werribee though, all the same.
Excellent goal early in the third quarter. In the middle, Savenka, lovely tap down. Doesn't go anywhere, however. Picks it up himself. Flicks a handball out wide. Werribee, much harder at the footy. Simon Calvert looks as if he's in the middle of the ground, Laurie, and gets the footy out wide. Gary Rickett decides not to try and pick it up. Use his pace to just kick the ball on the ground. Does very, very well. Pushes it further along ground. Terrific pick up, Ricky O'Toole. Hooked it inboard, and that's fantastic vision because standing at centre half forward was Robbie Walton. Gets a handball, could have taken a bit more time. It's put Barry O'Toole under all sorts of pressure. Now coming in, Ashley McNamara dives after the footy, pushes it out. Robbie Walton makes up there, picks it up in the pack towards full forward. Bolchevic leads in the race for the footy. Cornish can't keep with him, but does force him toward the boundary line and over with the footy. 30 metres from the behind post, deep in the attacking area now for Corio. Kicking to the city end in this third quarter, 6.5 minutes gone. 6-11, plays 3-6, Corio in front as the boundary umpire will put the ball in the air once again. Tap forward to Barry O'Toole. Not able to control it, picked up by Cornish for Werribee. Kicks.
Unfortunately, he didn't get a free kick, Barry, didn't he?
Well, he was certainly
retarded, I thought.
Was retarded quite severely, but not in the umpire's eyes. So the ball now, Werribee gained another 20 metres. It's about 50 metres now from their behind post as the boundary umpire puts the ball in once again. In front, Walton tapped the ball, scooped forward there for Werribee. Ricky O'Toole worried off the football. And ball again pushed through. Barry O'Toole picks it up. Had to be a free kick that time. Almost got the head ripped off the shoulders and had the head down. Was going for the football. And the infringer there was Dale Carlton, probably fresh on the ground. Laurie wants to get into the game a bit.
Well, he'll soon get hotted up if he gets in there.
So Barry O'Toole would take an enormous kick to get anywhere near the goals.
If he puts this one in there, Eric.
Moves in now.
He's certainly capable.
Man on the mark just inside 50. It's going to land in the goal square. Oh, Chad Ribbett. Mark has been paid. So...
doesn't matter. Ashley's kicked it in here.
Well, can't play on from a mark, obviously, Loz. So he paid the mark, which was a terrific effort. Chad Ribbett in the goal square, surrounded by players, and took a chest mark.
Well, I think everybody else was looking for the crumbs to play on, and I think Chad was as well. And he wrote, I've got something in my hand here.
The only thing that we've forgotten at the present time, nobody's worried about getting the ball.
No.
So,
you've got to be mad to get out of your car to get it, I'd say.
Absolutely, yes. And a day like today. So Chad Ribbett has one goal, one to his credit.
Just while we're waiting for that, though, Eric, he's been handy acquisition back into the team, hasn't he?
Well,
he's giving them a tool up there.
He does, and he's giving them a contest all the time, which is fantastic. Something, I don't say that he didn't have it, but Chad, he's a goal kicker as well, and as he's now got the football back and moves in, he's kicked his second for the day. So that's the answering goal from Corio. Since half-time, they've kicked one goal, and Werribee have kicked one goal, but it takes Corio to 7 goals, 11-53. They lead Werribee Central 3-6-24. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard. We've been playing 9 minutes, so an interesting 9 minutes. Werribee coming out on a mission though, Loz.
Yeah, it is, Eric, but it's typical of Corio's forward structure. It was a good kick from Barry O'Toole to get in there. Actually did get quite a bit of distance onto the ball, but that's been the difference of the two teams all day. At least it was in there for someone to do that, to grab a mark or whatever. Werribee have been forced or they've gone too wide, and they don't have the same opportunities when they go there. So it's important that you get there and get into that 50-metre mark there area and make some opportunities.
I guess for the first time in the afternoon, Laurie, the rain has actually eased ever so slightly, so a little bit more comfort if that's possible for the players. But from the tap down, players are not able to get the ball clear, although Corio doing better in the clinches there. Andrew Williams, Ricky O'Toole, a kick off the ground. Robbie Walton tried to scoop it out towards Ricky O'Toole. The kick wide is by Werribee. Chug can't take control of the footy. Barry O'Toole dives in, actually picks the footy up, breaks the tackle. There's a lovely handball out to Robbie Walton. Handball over to Andrew Williams. Williams chipped, looking for Ricky O'Toole. Ash McNamara spending some time on the forward line. pushes along the ground to Ricky O'Toole. Scoop forward for Corio by O'Toole. Robbie Walton can't pick it up. Again, Rick Lazarick is at the drop of the ball. Ball comes out. Ricky O'Toole. Oh, it is slow, slippery, the football. He does finally pick it up. Handball straight to Jason Festuca. He can't control it, and surely the umpire put a whistle on play. He does. And at the 10.5 minute mark of the third quarter, the ball on the half forward flank for Corio. As it's a very nice thing there. Players getting up out of the cold and wet. Dean Clayton helped Ricky O'Toole up at the finish, but from the ruck, Clayton gets a tap down for Werribee. Ball pushed toward the boundary by Kennedy, who might have been lucky not to get a free kick against him on that occasion. Pushed the player fair in the middle of the back, but the umpire Johnny on the spot, and the ball will be thrown in. Half forward flank for Corio. Ball thrown in by the Corio player. Tap down from Clayton. At the drop of the footy, Werribee doing well at the moment, although they can't get the ball clear. The ball finally picked up and kicked across the ground there by Cunningham. Now it's a foot race. Gary Rickett leads in the race for the footy. Does well for a young fella. Drew the player, handball to Ash McNamara, and there's a magnificent pass, and oh gee whiz, Andrew Williams has taken the mark, could have almost got a 50 I thought, but not...
Do you think he was thinking about it? No,
Well,
I don't think so. I think he sort of ran in and indicated it was a fair mark.
So Andrew Williams, the man on the mark, it'll struggle to get the distance. The man on the mark, 35 metres out.
Handball, didn't he?
He gave it to John Cousins. John Cousins is not going to make the distance from 35 metres out. The ball very, very heavy, and off hands it's through for another behind. So 7 goals, 12.54 Corio, 3-6-24 Werribee Central's. Raiders bingo, third quarter scoreboard, 12 minutes gone. So Kennedy kicked the ball to himself again. Oh, he doesn't make real good contact when he finally kicks it back into play, and the ball still in defensive 50, picked up Chris Gillam, immediately tackled. Then Werribee come away, ball mark not taken there at low to the ground by Johns. Handballs comes out to Walton. Gee, I tell you what, he's doing well for a big fella. A glorious pass there to Barry O'Toole. He hooks it around the body. Nicely done, looking for Johnny Bolchevic. Good defensive work, Cornish. And here's a great battle. Oh, again, Bolchevic. I tell you what, he's nearly done it again. He's 25 metres from the goal, and he hooked it off the ground. Mark taking Dave Kennedy. Kicked into the man on the mark, Chad Rivet. Ash McNamara decides he'll have a go at the goals from outside the goal area. It's finally rushed through from the goal square over the goal line. Another rush behind to Corio. 7 goals, 13-55. They lead Werribee 3-6-24. Raiders bingo. Third quarter scoreboard, 13 minutes gone. And you'd imagine, Laurie, the way it's going, Corio are going to get another goal very shortly because they've got all the play.
Yeah, look, there's no doubt about they got it in the hot spot, and if it comes out there, they're going to get a goal. You can only get it out 30 metres anyhow, and that's a nice kick, but it's not going to find its target.
So the ball kicked in by Kennedy after kicking to himself. Corio doing well at half forward. Again, Walton handball up to Ricky O'Toole. He throws the ball out. Umpire says play on, and surely I think common sense is prevailing here, and players are endeavouring to get the footy out. Whether it's a true blue handball is...
Well, I think it's got a bit more scrambling, Eric. I think we've come out with an idea, well, look, they've got to go in and get the footy, so you've got two sides doing the same thing now, as we've been quite committed before half-time.
From the ball up there, kick came forward, it's into the arms there of Stephen Rickett. He kicks off a step to full forward. Lazarick leads in the race for the footy. Unfortunately can't control it, and he's pushed further toward the boundary on this occasion by Cunningham, and all players and the football over the boundary line. We're 40 metres from the behind post, still in the attacking area for Corio. Werribee having great difficulty getting the ball outside defensive 50 as the ball Rivet does the ruck work. Beautiful tap down to Williams. Williams around the body to the full forward position. Again, off hands for another rush behind. So we're chalking up some behinds the Corio side. 7-14-56. They lead Werribee Central's 3-6-24. Raiders bingo. Third quarter scoreboard, 15 minutes gone as Kennedy kicks to himself again. This time comes to the other side of the ground looking for Sean Simmons. 2-on-2 there. The ball very close to the boundary line. Werribee win out. The ball is kicked along the boundary line. If the players go over the boundary line in front of us, they'll drown, I think, Laurie, because there's a huge pool of water. Finally picked up by Carlton. A little chip pass has been marked there by Chug, a long way from the forward area. Nobody on the mark, so away he goes. Kicked under a bit of pressure towards the centre half forward area. Mark dropped there by Savenka. Foley pushed forward, throws the footy out. Players doing a lot of good work at ground level there. Pushed forward by Colbert. Werribee Central's again with a bit of an injury problem.
Yeah, Wardy, I think it's the cold there again. He takes a knock and
so
hurts a lot more.
Brad Ward off the ground adjacent to our broadcast point as the ball thrown up at half forward. Straight through the arms there of Stephen Rickett. As the ball, Matt King tries to pick it up. And certainly to the players' credit, Laurie, they're trying to get the footy off the ground. It's not really trying to bottle it up. Ball thrown out on that occasion. It's picked up by Jewel over the top for Werribee. They're trying very hard at centre half forward through Chug there towards the centre half forward area. But John Cousins again doing very, very well. Takes the mark on his chest. Now chips the ball over the top, and there's another comfortable chest mark. It's one of the Ricketts. It is Stephen. He kicks the ball long over the centre. Robbie Walton, almost a good mark overhead in the conditions, would have been sensational. Picked up by Simmons over to Kennedy. Kennedy out wide to Colbert. Colbert, no, didn't take the mark, was bumped as he went for the mark, and umpire was happy with that. So off his hands, the ball is over the boundary line once again. And I guess, Laurie, Werribee going so wide is really playing into Corio's hands, sure.
Well, they're doing two things. They're going too wide, and when they get down this area, Corio controlling the footy, they're using that valuable time. They might only be getting points, but at least it's using time.
So from the throw-in, came to Johnny Cousins once again. Picked the footy up and tried to get a kick away. The ball forced toward the boundary once more. And it really does make defending a lot easier when the ball is that close to the boundary. The Corio players throw themselves at the footy. They slide, the momentum takes them and the footy over, and once again at the 17.5 minute mark of the third quarter, we see the ball thrown in, half forward flank for Werribee Centrals. Gee, there's a stack of players that look like a rugby scrum. They were just absolutely throwing themselves at the footy. 6 or 7 players now getting up from the ground. The ball is under all of them, and will now be handed to the umpire by Warren Foley, who I think weight of numbers wasn't too good on him. He's covered in mud, obviously. This time Clayton gets the ball down. Handball comes out to Jewel, around his body to full forward. Matt McNamara, big punch on the footy. It's almost in the goal square. Bernardo tried to kick the ball off the ground, and the player with the courage to put his head down, I think, was Warren Foley again. Tackled high and 5 metres out, 45-degree angle. Warren Foley, the opportunity to decrease the Corio lead with another score for the Werribee Centrals. Man in the mark is only 5 metres out.
He's got to hit this good though.
He does. As he moves in, he's hit it pretty well, and has in fact landed on top of a car driving past the goal as well. So double bunger. Warren Foley gets the goal. It is the 4th for the Werribee Central side. 4-6-30. They trail Corio 7-14-56. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard. 19 minutes gone, and it's been a hard slogging 19 minutes, Loz.
Yeah, it certainly has, Eric, and sound like a cracked or broken record, but that was a good opportunity for Werribee. Then they had it in the forward 50 there, right in front of goal, and once it went to ground, there was a little bit of a scrimmage there. Came out, Warren Foley gets a free kick, kicks a goal. So you've got an opportunity to kick a goal if you're in that area. Around in that flank we just spoke about a couple of minutes ago, you've got no hope.
Just trying to fathom Corio. Looks like they've got a spare player in McNamara back at the head of the goal square, so they're playing a loose man. Interesting, Dave Kennedy running from the other end of the ground to maybe thwart that.
Yeah, well, I think that's a good idea. I think they need a loose man up there.
So in the middle, ball taken by Ricky O'Toole, tries to handball to Anderson, numbers with Werribee. Ball comes out again for Stuka. Nice little flick there to Chris Gillam. Mark taken, played on quickly by, that was Carlton, and his kick out of bounds on the full. Chris Gillam not at all happy about the umpire's decision to. He now apologised to the umpire because he was in a better position than the umpire. He knew the ball wasn't out in the full, and sanity's prevailed. The ball is thrown in. Savenka missed the ball. Ricky O'Toole, he's immediately tackled but gets a handball out to Matt King. He's flattened after he kicks the footy. And
Simmons, I think, isn't it?
Somebody...
Warren Foley, is it?
Somebody threw himself at Ricky O'Toole after the ball was kicked, and they're moving. It is Warren Foley, who's had a leg injury. So now Matt King kicks long from half back. It is a good kick towards centre wing. Barry O'Toole just eats his opponent under the footy. Terrific work, Rick Lazarick. Lovely shepherd. There's lovely vision by Barry O'Toole. He's found Stephen Rickett, runs in towards the goal square. Johnny Bolshevik picks it up, handball to Ash McNamara, who's immediately tackled in the goal square by the defence. Cornish picks it up, he can't get a kick away. Robbie Walton picks it up. Oh, the most unlikely of goal kickers. Robbie Walton with a snapshot on the right foot has put it over the goal umpire's head. I tell you what, he's played a very good game around the ground, Robbie Walton.
He has
done a fantastic job.
No doubt about that. I think the conditions would suit him today, but he played very well last week as well, so he's running a fair bit of form.
So that's the 8th goal for Corio. 8 goals, 14-62. They lead Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Raiders bingo, third quarter scoreboard, 21, almost 22 minutes gone. So, the game is, or the conditions taking its toll on...
Yeah, I think that's Warren Foley has got a bit of a knee problem, and that wouldn't, a day like today wouldn't help, wouldn't it?
And unfortunately, it probably was an illegal tackle that he's caused the injury to himself, so that's unfortunate. But in the middle, ball comes down to Jewell again, gets his kick away. Ricky O'Toole at the drop of the footy with Anderson, tries to get a handball. Williams in there for Corio. Ricky O'Toole, lovely handball out to Barry O'Toole, and away he goes. Kicks the ball towards half forward. Ashley McNamara, oh, good body work. He just eased Eisenberg out of the contest, and Ash McNamara having a spell, as I said, on the forward line and doing very well. Goes right across the face of goal. Johnny Bolshevik, lovely kick McNamara, great mark Bolshevik, and 15 metres out, near enough to directly in front. Corio have another mark through the arms there of Johnny Bolshevik, and keep an eye on Chris Gillam. He's called the runner loss. I think he's got some concerns, certainly, as Bolshevik now moves in. And, I tell you what, as he kicked it, the goal umpire went a fair way across. He's kicked the goal, and that's his third. Very handy contribution from Johnny Bolshevik 2 weeks in a row now. Kicked 5 or 6 last week.
Yes, he did.
That's 3 today, and it is the 9th for the Corio team. 9-14-68. They lead Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Raiders bingo third quarter scoreboard. We've been going 23 minutes, and Laurie, that was a crucial goal at this stage in the third quarter.
Yes, well, Werribee have come out, Eric, in all fairness, they've tried very, very hard in this third quarter, and they've kicked a couple of goals, but saying that Corio's played pretty good footy too as well, and led by Barry O'Toole, Robbie Walton, guys that... just getting those kicks to the right spot. Johnny Bolshevik up there in the right position at the time. That was a well-weighted kick. He was on the right side of his opponent and took an easy mark and kicked a nice goal.
So in the middle once again, Savenka down to Williams, kick off the ground. Players throwing themselves with great gusto. There's a free kick against Savenka, I think. It was off the ball a bit, and it's gone to Simon Calvert. So Calvert now, man on the mark, almost in the centre circle. That's a lovely torpedo from Calvert. Where's he gone to? Straight into the arms of Stephen Rickett on his own at centre half back. And he's another one that's having a fine game. Decides to go long towards centre wing. Barry O'Toole just eases his opponent out, takes the mark and plays on quickly. Hooked around the body. Robbie Walton, he's handled it like a dry ball. Picked it up. I tell you what, he's got the inside out torpedo. Went the wrong way, Loz, and landed just inside the boundary. 10 metres.
He's enjoying out there, actually, Robbie, today.
Well, he's playing centre half forward now, and his strength was much better than Gundry early in the game.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Barry O'Toole's lifted his game as well. He's had 5 kicks in this third quarter.
From the throw in, it was Robbie Walton got the tap down. Only as far there as was Clayton that kicked the ball towards half-back flank, and Cornish in front of Barry O'Toole on that occasion took the chest mark. Decided to kick it short and kicked it straight into the man in the mark. Barry O'Toole hooks it back toward the goal square. It's a magnificent kick, but it's going to be punched through for another rush behind to the Corio side. 9 goals to 15, 69. That's Corio's score. They lead Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Raiders Bingo third quarter scoreboard. 25 minutes gone. We're into time on. And I suppose the wet ball, you don't see the man kicking in the man in the mark too often. So Dave Kennedy, lovely kick on that occasion.
It's pinky from going over the line. You're going to be kidding me.
And the umpire, I suppose the umpire
I think he went over a fair way.
Yeah, tell you what, he's could almost be free kick, Dave Kennedy. In fact, he's going to get reported, I think, because you know, and his
card, I think.
His reaction there was, and that's
a yellow card.
Just what Werribee would not want. As it's interesting now, the umpire is pursuing him. In fact, I'm not too sure.
Well, he's
got a red card now.
He's got a red card now.
So
he can't come on at all.
That's just what Werribee would not want. And does that an automatic free kick to Corio, perhaps?
I'm not sure. I think he'll know the rules, Eric. He's if he doesn't, there's enough people out there telling him the rules. So, I wouldn't be surprised.
So it's a 50-metre penalty. It's a free kick. Yeah. Certainly going to be a free kick to Corio.
Chad Rivet.
Chad Rivet. He's just walked in and has kicked the goal. So one mistake compounded by another. The third goal for Chad Rivet. The 10th goal for Corio. And Laurie, it really is starting to fall apart for Werribee, because at the 27-minute mark of the final of the third quarter, they've got a quarter and a bit to go with only 17 players.
Yeah, and I mean, they don't want to fall apart. I mean, that's you know, it's going to test all the resolve now. To some of these Werribee players just got to stand up. They've got to make. You know, I don't know how they do it now with one man off the ground.
Makes it difficult.
Makes it very difficult, especially on a wet day like today.
So that's the 10th goal for Corio. 10-15-75. They lead Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Raiders Bingo third quarter scoreboard. We're now into the 28th minute as, well, things get more difficult for Werribee by the second. As the umpire now to put the ball in the air once again. And I think they can't even find the centre circle. It's that wet in there, and that's fair enough.
I think that's what David Kennedy was on about. I think how could he find the line? But I think he did run over a fair margin.
Yeah, so Savenka gets the tap down, kicked off the ground there by Williams. On that occasion, mark not taken by Walton. Ball kicked back towards the centre of the ground. Werribee through Chug. Kicked the ball out wide. Calvert picks it up off a step towards half forward. All Corio back there. Matty King has plenty of time to get back to the footy, pick it up, then measure the kick. Oh, I don't know about the kick though, back into the corridor. Numbers with Corio certainly, picked up by Barry O'Toole. He hooks around the body, and it's a lovely kick. Ricky O'Toole takes the mark on centre wing. And these are the two guys that could really make you pay, Laurie, when you're one short. The lead there from Robbie Walton, another great lead, another great kick. Mark taken by Walton, handball to Williams running past. Ball very quickly into the forward 50 for Corio once again. Anderson can't control it, however. And the ball is over the boundary line, inside the forward 50 for Corio once again. 28.5 minutes gone, third quarter, 75 plays 30.
Sorry, we've got to see Macca here without a player. Cousins hasn't got a play because he was already a loose man in the back line, isn't he, I think.
Well, they got one loose anyway, so ball thrown in. Barry O'Toole gets the tap down from the back. Ricky O'Toole picks it up to Matt McNamara, off a step to full forward. Almost a great diving mark for Werribee in defence, but numbers with Corio. Ashley McNamara just cannons his way through, picked up Rick Lazarick. Oh, what a great goal. Almost with the head still over the football at ground level. Ricky Lazarick has stood up and has kicked his first goal for the day, and that's the 11th for Corio. That's their 5th for the quarter. They're having a great run at the moment, Corio. 11 goals, 15-81. Leading Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Raiders Bingo third quarter scoreboard, 29.5 minutes gone.
Well, I thought that bit of play probably typified what they've done all day, Eric. They've had their head over the footy. They've worked hard around their packs, and their concentration, their endeavour over the footy has been a lot better than Werribee's, and that was a fitting result. He worked hard for that, and he's actually played a good game today as well, and it was a lovely goal.
I think You know, Chris Gillen would be pretty concerned, Laurie.
Well, the sting's gone out of Werribee at the moment, you can see that.
Well, Chris has busted himself, hasn't he, as a coach, and he's not getting enough support around the ground. As Savinka again, great tap down for Corio, only as far as Jewel. Goodness me, he's run a long way, gets a handball to Calvert. The smother there, Williams can't pick the footy up, comes back, hit along the ground, picked up by Anderson. He's got Cousins back behind the football, but he can't control it as Chug puts pressure on, but the kick is marked at centre half back by Matt King. Got players loose out wide. It's Stephen Rickett. Takes the mark and runs away. Does well in the wet. Kicks it long towards the open territory off centre wing. It's over centre wing, running toward the boundary. Cornish can't bend down to pick it up. He does toe poke it along. Kick back inboard for Werribee, only as far as Robbie Walton for Corio. Picked up by Lazarick. He's dropped it. Player ridden into the ground, stacks on the mill, and the umpire thought he might have almost given a push in the back there, but felt it was in the passage of play. And in front of the change rooms here at the 31-minute mark of the third quarter, umpire will put the ball in the air. Walton to do the ruck work, gets the tap down, only as far there as was Cunningham, I think, and his kick is out of bounds on the full, so under pressure. The free kick will come to, looks a bit like Ricky O'Toole to me. Players very difficult to see. One in the mud, right across the ground.
Yeah, it is Ricky, Eric.
So Ricky O'Toole continuing his good work in this third quarter. Kicks towards half forward, up high. Oh, good mark, almost in front of the pack. Stephen Rickett recovers. Handball out to Rick Lazarick. Handball to Ricky O'Toole. Round the body to half forward. Joseph Pastuka for Werribee. Picks it up, back to the centre of the ground. Numbers there with Werribee as Simon Calvert kicks it off the ground. Oh, Danny Ruck attacks the footy. Mark Bernardo was hoping it would get past Danny Ruck and he would have a clear passage to goal. Unfortunately, Danny Ruck got a foot to the footy and defensively went toward the boundary and over. So it's half forward flank, 60 metres from the behind post. 32 minutes gone in the quarter. Must be very close to three-quarter time as the boundary umpire about to put the ball into play once again. Savanka just stood there, didn't even go for the footy as the ball kicked out of the pack for Werribee. Only as far there as Ward. Ward eludes a couple of players. Handball back to Jewel. Jewel on the left foot towards the goal area. Mark not paid by the umpire. A good call. He had the arms up and was obviously yelling. Ball kicked back to the centre for Cornish. Handball forward to Gillam, only as far as Barry O'Toole gets through two tackles far too easily. To the middle of the ground, Ricky Lazarick. Oh, it's a skating rink in there, picked up by Joseph Pastuka. Out wide by hand, ball comes back to Sean Simmons. He can't control the footy. Good work, Gary Rickett. There's a high tackle from Ricky O'Toole and Joseph Pastuka. And the two medalists, they come to grips in the middle of the ground, and Joseph Pastuka. Almost called by the umpire, but now play-on's called. Pastuka goes for the big torpedo towards half forward. Corio players basically spoil each other, but the ball through Stephen Rickett at half-back. Handball to Johnny Cousins. Great game from him. Almost picked up Robbie Walton. Gundry is there as well for Corio. Players throwing themselves in close to three-quarter time, but finally the ball pushed over the boundary line, just forward of centre wing. Towards the Werribee goals. Werribee kicking to the northern end. 33.5 minutes gone. There's only been 6 goals kicked. Must be perilously close to three-quarter time as the ball comes in. Kicked off the ground. Picked up Barry O'Toole. Gets the footy to the boot. Picked up Chug for Werribee. Ran the body towards half forward. Johnny Cousins. He's read it well. He's the only one out there. Lopes after the ball. Eisenberg chasing him. Puts him down as the siren sounds. It is three-quarter time. In this match of the day, GDFL, there's a free kick after the siren. I think it's been paid to, and I didn't see what happened there.
Didn't want to give him 100 metres penalty to get a goal from there.
But Simon Calvert has the free kick. That he wasn't in the passage of play. I tell you what, he's made a pretty good fist of the footy, and unfortunately doesn't make the distance. So it is three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, the scorecard shows Corio 11 goals, 15, 81. leading Werribee Central's 4-6-30. Goal kickers to three-quarter time for Corio, 3 each to John Bolchevic and Chad Rivet, 2 to Jed Potter, and 1 to Barry O'Toole, Rick Lazarick and Rob Walton. And for Werribee Centrals, 2 to Chris Gillum, 1 to Mark Bernardo and Warren Foley. So that's three-quarter time here in our match of the day. We'll be back shortly with Laurie's comments on the third quarter and the potential outcome of the last. You're tuned to 94.7 The Pulse, your home of local football.